tough. You know, I felt my leg felt good, like I could play, but obviously, you know, at practice it just wasn't there. Tried to push through it, tried to fight from it, but you know, some things you just can't control, and that's one of those things we didn't want to push too much.
Didn't you get complicated? Wasn't there an ankle or something during your comeback at some point?
Well, whenever I broke it, there was some ankle stuff that kind of got messed up in there as well. So it just kind of was a never-ending process until, you know, everything got healed up together.
How much did you talk to Charlie about? I remember we asked him about it. He had a similar, I guess, very similar injury, right?
You know, I talked to him a little bit right after it first happened, and then there towards the end, whenever I felt, you know, like it was fine to walk on, but couldn't really push off of it too much. You know, just seeing if he had the same complications that I did. And, you know, they said everything was normal, so I didn't think too much about it.
How many offensive line snaps did you get last season after your injury when you came back?
Like 2, maybe.
Was it the Auburn game?
Yeah, I think so. It wasn't a lot.
And what's it like now then to be back in the mix? I know there's a lot of shuffling on the line, that kind of thing, but how do you feel like you're doing out there?
You know, it's great. I mean, personally, I don't feel any difference. You know, my teammates, I feel like they can see that. You know, I think me being out last year allowed us to grow more depth. So, you know, that's only going to help us in the long run.
There's a lot of competition. How do you foresee, you know, kind of shaking out? I know Cade is, you know, doing a lot of
You know, that's a good question. I honestly couldn't tell you. We're splitting reps about even now, and you know, Coach Pitt's got a good plan of what he wants to do, so he's going to do what he feels like's best, and we just got to roll with it.
Those one-on-one drills, we see videos of them, and they look like pretty massive. I mean, what is it really all about for you guys when you do those hit drills? Does it just get you fired up, or is it a pride or a unit thing?
You know, it's like Coach Pitt says, we got to start the party, and you know that helps us do it at the beginning of practice. So you know, going out there and hitting somebody in the head, if that's what it does, and that's what it does.
Jamario Salyer seems like someone that's taking some strides. What are you seeing from him that you may be different from last year?
You know, Jamari is unbelievably smart. He's got great football sense, knows the game really well, sees things before it happens, and you know, he wants to get better. Jamari loves the game, so I mean, he's going to go out there every day and do what he's asked to do. So I think that's going to be his biggest attribution, is just being a flexible player and allowing him to play multiple positions and excel at every level.
Are you back to your old self from that injury? I mean, do you ever deal with it in practice? Do you still feel it?
I think I am. You know, it was a little tough at the very beginning of spring. Just getting back in the field of things. I mean, I hadn't taken a full speed rep in probably 6-7 months. So it was definitely difficult coming back, but I think I got some of the rust knocked off of it now.
Why was it you were able to return on special teams, I guess, on shield? I don't remember if you were on anything else, but why were you able to do that but not be first team?
Because I didn't have to push off of anybody and, you know, move a 340-pound man standing in front of me. On that, I just had to sit there and take a blow, so they felt like I could take up the space and keep the punter safe, so that's what we did.
Were you afraid at all? Anything that might happen?
No, I mean, you can't really think about stuff like that whenever you're in there. I mean, you honestly don't think about stuff like that whenever it's actually in the moment. You know, just looking back at it, I don't think there was ever a time where I was just like, oh, I'm kind of scared to go in here if it's doing something. I don't think that was the case.
I think you were also getting some for second team a lot. So why were you just not 100%
No,
to be a
absolutely not.
first
I mean,
team?
you could see it when I practiced. You know, tried to run, there was still hitching my run. I was still limping real bad.
There's been some curiosity.
So I mean, it would have been absolutely pointless for me to put me in the game because I would have been more detrimental to the team. So you know, I had no problem with sitting down and allowing myself to get back and forth.
You mentioned going up against 340-pound man. I guess Jordan Davis, I think he's one of the guys I've seen you lock up with. Just if you could talk about his progress, and you've obviously gone up against some great D linemen. Where's Jordan at right now?
Jordan, he honestly might be the most improved player on our team just from whenever he first got in here, working on conditioning, extra stuff after practice. I mean, there was, right before spring, he was coming in every single morning working out 3 times a day in order to lose weight and get up to conditioning, you know, that he needed to be at to be successful for us. And he's done it. There's definitely a change in his tempo of practice, seeing him run the ball, seeing him cover down and stuff like that. And, you know, I think all that stuff, the extra stuff that he did, you know, most people wouldn't do. I think that he made those strides, and it's going to help him out.
Speaking of 340-pound men, what's your weight these days?
About 335.
What the rest of your career has been like. For other guys who have their first GA moment on Saturday, how
First four and then last four.
I think one of the teammates, I can't remember who it was, mentioned you were the fastest lineman on the GPS. If you looked at GPS numbers this spring, is
We
that
actually did look at them, and me and Andrew Thomas always kind of raced at the beginning of practice to get them up there a little bit. But yeah, 300. Well, I guess once you put pads and everything on, me and him probably pushing about 350, 355, something like that. You know, him and I both are pushing 19 miles an hour, so you know that's not too bad. But that has to go off the strength stat for that one because that's what gets us in shape for that.
you faster than some of the position guys? I mean, is there been any talk about that?
Nah, I mean we don't really pay attention. We just kind of see who wins it for the big guys for the day.
What is your